everybody, it's Tina again. So my last video I talked about returning to therapy, and I've been in therapy now for about 5 or so weeks. So I just thought I'd give everyone a little update on how that's going. Like anything, there's always the days where you struggle with it, you're frustrated, especially for me, being someone who didn't do the exercises I was given after high school. I put myself in this position. Other times I've had a lot of therapy and it's been, because I had an operation or something, then I had to go back to therapy. So I guess the struggle for me here has just been coming to terms with the fact that yes, it is, my fault per se that I'm in this situation. But I also have control over how I handle that too. And in my last video, I gave some advice about therapy, and so I had said that it was not only important to advocate for yourself, but also to, be grateful for the help that you do have and stay positive about it. All that has been something that I've really tried to stick to and follow my own advice throughout this whole process of the last 5 weeks back in therapy. And I will say, it's hard to stay positive because, some days it does kind of suck and you're sore and you're tired and you want to, throw in the towel and say, screw this, I don't want to do my exercises today. I don't want to do it. But, the other piece of advice for those going through therapy is to find the humor in it and stay positive. And, if you have a friend that's going through something similar to you, share that with them. And sometimes it's sharing memes about it when you've had a bad day. Sometimes you just need someone to vent to. But those relationships with people who understand what you're going through can be a really important part of just the encouragement that you need to sort of keep going with it and stay positive with it. So in addition to staying positive about things and using humor and finding that support system, I would also say that it's important to be honest with your therapist about what's going on, to not be afraid to say, something's uncomfortable, something hurts. I've always had this thing where I don't always like to tell people when I'm hurting because I want to pretend that I'm being tough and I want to pretend that I'm fine. But your therapist is there to help you, and if you don't tell them that you're hurting, they might not know. For me personally, with therapy, that we've also been doing some needling, and one particularly unpleasant experience, my therapist needled me in the bottom of the foot. Not only did it hurt when the needle was actually going in, sorry for you needle-phobic people out there, but it is what it is. Afterwards, I had some unpleasant pain, and my feet were all spazzy, giving me muscle spasms. My legs were spazzing, and it was just uncomfortable. And as much as I hated to complain about that, or as much as I felt like I was complaining, it is important to let them know when something bothers you, because had I not told my therapist, hey, this actually really sucked, and I think I used those words too, she might not have known that it did hurt, and she might have just, needled me in the foot the next time too. So it's important to be open about what's going on so that your therapist can make the best decisions for you. In my last video, I talked about returning to therapy, and I talked about how it was important to advocate for yourself and be thankful, as well as staying positive. All those things still apply, but what I've also learned in this past 5 weeks being back in therapy is that not only are all of those things important, but that it's also okay to be upset about it. It's okay to feel sorry for yourself. You can have your pity party, but you just can't camp out and stay there. You feel sorry for yourself, you cry about it if you need to, and you got to get back up and move on and keep trying. In addition to that, I would say that in that part of getting back up and keeping trying, the humor is really important, whether it be you and your therapist joking around, whether it be you finding memes online about therapy that make you laugh. For me, it's actually some memes that I tape on my wall next to the spot where I do my exercises. I have a horse on an exercise ball that says just working on my abs. I have an Oprah Winfrey meme that says you can't spell party without PT. Find that humor and use it to motivate you. In addition, make sure that if you've got people that have gone through PT, you got people that understand, reach out to them if you need to, because they can help pick you back up on your tough days too, so that you keep going with a positive attitude. And lastly, part of this goes with staying positive. Don't be afraid to tell your therapist when something hurts, because they're there for you to help you, and they need to know when you hurt so that they can do their best to help you with that pain or change up your routine so that you're not in pain. Don't feel like you're complaining, because you are going to be sore and you are going to be tired, but it's part of the process and it's not necessarily anything to be ashamed about. And so thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with an update sometime in the near future. Thanks, guys. Bye.